Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, everybody. How are you guys doing this amazing Friday morning? I hope that everybody is doing amazing. We have some sun. Yesterday, we had some frost. So I don't know what we got going on. My son said today's supposed to be 80 degrees. So we'll see what this weather is what this weather is giving, because this weather is up and down, and I'm so glad that I didn't put anything out in the garden yesterday or beforehand, because I heard Wednesday, my neighbor told me Wednesday that we were going to have a frost, and that he had to get his vegetables together, and he's thinking of ways on how he's going to insulate it, how he's going to cover them, how he's going to protect them because they're already out in the ground. So I am so glad that I did not do that yet. So hopefully after this weekend we are done with frost and we are getting ready for some spring, summertime weather. So we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. And if I do, you'll definitely know, because I'll definitely be talking about my garden, of course. So everybody, let's see who's in the room. And I am on a roll with my little 5 tips and five. I love that. So 5, I think, is going to be my number. Maybe I like 5. So today we're going to talk about the power of positive mental attitude. So I got 5 tips for that, right? So that's what we're going to be talking about today. So good morning, everybody. Good morning, Patricia K. Patricia K is the first one in the building. Hey, Patricia K. Good morning, Linda. Linda says, I am blessed, hopeful, joyful, and filled with gratitude. Amen. 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 Yes. Good morning, Betty Rose. Betty Rose says, I am blessed. Cousin's in the building. She also sent me, I just got the message. I seen the message go across the screen. She's like, where are you, cousin? I am here now. I am here. I was running a little behind because, no matter how much time I give myself, I still make myself late. I gotta fix that. I gotta fix my words. So I gotta make that next week. I'm committing to being early next week. Next week, I'm going to commit to being early. So I'm going to say you guys hold me accountable, right? So good morning, cousin. I love you. Good morning, Chantel. Good morning, sis. I love you, girl. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Oh, I said happy Friday. Sorry, y'all. Thursday. Today's Janet Day. Today's Janet Day. We want to see Janet Jackson tonight. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Good morning, Lois. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. She says she is blessed. Good morning, Crystal. Crystal is blessed. Good morning, Michi. She said, happy baby Friday. Almost there. Got you. Got you. How's the son doing? I hope he's doing it good today. Good morning, Bobby. Good morning, Bobby. Good morning. She said, good morning, everyone. All right, y'all. Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome, welcome, welcome to Coffee with Nikki, your daily cup of information and inspiration. Again, today we are going to be talking about a positive mental attitude. And the reason why I am doing this, because it's all about what goes on internally and what we're going to see externally. So we got to start believing in the things that we say that we want. We got to start believing in ourselves to be successful. We got to start believing in ourselves to see ourselves fit and healthy, right? And so in order for those things to happen, we got to start on the inside. It's inside job. And so we are focusing on that. Also, this is leading up to a class that I am collaborating with Patricia of Smell of Love Candles, the Startup Learning Center, SLC Supplies. She's an attorney. We are going to collab, and we are going to do a class next Thursday evening on Zoom. Spaces are going to be limited. It's going to be a free class. It will not be, it's on, there is going to be no replay. So make sure you are there with your notes and ready to go. But as for right now, we don't have a replay. This will be a paid class. It will be a paid class. So you guys make sure that you get your seat, because they are limited, right? They are limited. Let me see. Oh, yep. Today is Janet Jackson Day. Yep, yep, yep. He woke up recently and seems to be doing good. Okay, he is his goofy self. Good, good, good. I know sometimes the meds, because I know he's in a lot of pain, or he should be, kind of managing the pain and stuff. And so the meds may be making him a little off, but I'm glad he's in good spirits. I'm glad he's in good spirits. So everybody, were you in a class last night with with I just glitched um, with Angela from Hello Breakthrough. How many of you guys were in the class yesterday? We were talking about budgeting for your business, which transcended into life, into everything else. How many of you guys were in the building for that class? Put ones in the chat. Put ones in the chat. Ones in the chat. Hey, ones in the chat. Ones in the chat. Oh, ones in the chat. Ones in the chat. Hey, no. How many of you guys seen it? If you didn't catch the replay is on until 7 p.m. and then it will be off and into the Honor Society. It will be into the Honor Society. Nope, missed it. Oh, you did come in. I think you came in the end, right, cousin? I'm watching after the live. Angela got us together last night. I am telling you. What? What? I caught the end, but we'll watch the replay after this. Let me tell y'all something. I was so I was enamored with her when I seen her on BCMC. I was like, oh my gosh, I love her. I absolutely love her energy. I loved her vibe. The show was flawless. It was seamless. There was a presentation. And she said that she will send a presentation, but there was a glitch in her system, and she wasn't able to save the presentation. And so you guys will be able to get it later on. But the show just flowed, and you wouldn't even know that we didn't have the presentation. You didn't even know it. You didn't even know it, right? The show must go on, and it did. And it was so good. There was so many jewels. There was so much information and tips and pointers that she simplified and made it easy for us to follow. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I really enjoyed about her when I seen her on BCMC. I was like, it's so easy to follow. And so I for sure am going to be taking away some things. I am going to be taking away a lot, actually, because I keep saying I want to do it and I don't. And so this is the time that I am definitely going to do it, because see, I think God makes me struggle with things like this so that I can be the person that comes in front of you and say, I know what you're not doing. I know you said you're going to do it, but you didn't do it. You know what I'm saying? I know I have a feeling that's what God did. That's what he's doing. That's what he's working in me, right? I'm a work in progress. So then, we all can move and do this together, right? So I'm definitely going to be using budgeting into my business a little bit, not a little bit more fully, but I'm saying as far as like purchasing new things when I still have old inventory that I need to move, or not even thinking about how I am going to move this inventory, right? I have the inventory sitting there and I'm just like, oh, I need something else. Oh, I need something else. How many of y'all do that? Put some ones in the chat if you do the same thing. Ones in the chat. Cousin said Angela doesn't play. She does not. She definitely was. She definitely was. How many of you guys have that problem? Y'all keep on buying new things and you still got all these old things sitting there. I have racks and racks and racks. Good morning, Trina. Racks of fragrance oils that I have not yet touched, right? Racks of them. I have fragrance oils that I'll keep on buying because it's another fragrance oil. Oh, I need that scent. And I don't even make anything with that scent. And I don't even have a plan to make anything with that scent. And so it's just sitting there. I have some fragrance oils that I bought because they were new. And I was like, oh, yeah. And then they're not even skin safe. I'm not making any non-skin products right now. And so why did I buy it? But when I decide that I want to, right? So now that's just money that I spent that's just sitting on my shelf. So now I'm going to have to figure out how to do something, because I said, okay, no more. I'm not doing any more candles, room sprays, or all of that on my website, because those are the things that are not moving as quickly. My skincare is doing amazing. Let me focus on my skincare. So now what am I going to do with those fragrances? I mean, I could destash them and I could, sell them off to other people. That same thing, right? I could do that, but what if I need it later? What if when I decide, and that's my mentality, right? What if when I decide I'm ready to use it, and then I don't have it because I gave it away and now I gotta buy it again? I mean, am I the only person who thinks like that? Let me know in the chat. I'm a fragrance oil addict. I have all types of and all types of different jars. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. I know exactly what you mean. I know exactly. You're definitely talking to me. Okay. I'm guilty. Right. I'm having it sitting there for no reason. So we're going to have to make better decisions about where we're spending our money so that we can keep track of everything and to maintain, so, to get the success that we want. So we have to make sure that we do that. Yes, yes, and yes, y'all. Yes, yes, and yes. So what were your key takeaways? Good morning, sis. Good morning, Jules. What was your key takeaway from yesterday? If you were in the building, what was your key takeaways? What were your key takeaways? Was it the 5% and the 1%? What was it? What was it for you? And let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat. For me, it was me realizing that I was on an endless cycle. And I'm saying was because I'm no longer allowing that to be my story, right? I'm no longer allowing that to be part of what I'm saying to anybody, right? I'm on an endless cycle. I was on an endless cycle of, keeping up doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over again, right? Next time I'm going to fix it. Next time I'm going to fix it. Next time I'm going to fix it. And I don't. So I am going to take stock, do what I need to do, hold myself accountable. And if anybody else want to be to do, have an accountability partner, let me know. And start doing what's necessary in order for this business to grow and to thrive. And not only to grow and to thrive, because it's growing and it's thriving, but I needed to scale, right? I need to scale up. And so this is what I'm going to be doing. This is going to be my focus for the year. This is going to be my focus on my transformation, right? So tell me what resonated with you guys. Let me know what resonated with you. Chantel says, I'm constantly buying fragrance oils. I'm trying to find the scent that I want for my brand. And now I have oils that I don't want. Money wasted. Not if you make some wax melts, because Latrice said a good thing quite some time ago when she was like, oh, you have those little 1 ounce sample bottles of fragrance oils, make those into wax melts, take them with you when you go to markets and pop-up shops and events, and sell those things for like $1 or more, right? And that way you're getting rid of those fragrance oils, plus you're trying to recoup some of that money back, right? So that's a really good idea. That's a really good idea. So Michi says she went tumbler happy. So that means we need to start selling some tumblers, Michi. If we got those things on the show, we need to start selling some tumblers. We need to start selling them things. I love the part about putting your money away in parts. Yes, me too. The call last night was everything. It lit fire under me to do better. Absolutely. I'm with you, Chantel. Up top with it. Up top with it. I'm definitely with you. Cousin said destash. That's right. Oh, BCMC has a destash group. If you want to get rid of, if anybody's in here sitting on any inventory that you want to get rid of, and it is of good, good quality or whatever, and in good shape, you guys can go to BCMC, join the group. It's free. It's private though. Join the group and you'll be able to join the D-Stash group. I think Cousin runs that one. Do the D-Stash group and you can get rid of those things and you can recoup some of that money back. Right? So if you don't want to do like make some wax melts because maybe you're not doing pop-up shops and maybe that's just not what you could do right now. Maybe you don't even have the wax. Maybe you don't have the supplies, whatever that is, right? Maybe that's not for you, but you can go to BCMC on Facebook and you can de-stash whatever you have so that you can recoup some of that money back. Yes, BCMC, not university, BCMC Facebook group, right? If you go there, you'll be able to de-stash your stuff. De-stash your stuff. Yes, I can post the link. Yes, please, 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 please. Let me know if you did it because sometimes the link don't show up in the chat. So let me know when you do it. So today we're going to be talking about a positive mental attitude again, because it just will behoove you to think positively instead of thinking negatively, right? And so we need to start being mindful about what we allow in our circle and what we allow in our minds and what we allow in our spirit, right? We were talking about that before, but we are going to keep on talking about it until we start changing things, until we start changing them, right? So, oh, yep, yes, it sure is. Yes, it sure is. So I got my notes. I wrote out my tips. So I want to know, how would you rate your the importance of having a positive mental attitude? How how would you rate the importance of having a positive mental attitude? You're rating it from a 1 and a 10. 1 to 10. 1 to 10. How important is it to you to have a positive mental attitude? And you notice the difference when you are thinking positively, right? You notice the difference when you're feeling good, right? Just better things start happening for you. Just people start acting differently. You see the world differently. You know, things that you thought were bad before, feeling better now, right? You're feeling out of the way. You're feeling cleared, right? So how important is it to you? I see a bunch of tens. I see a bunch of tens, y'all. Yes, let's get it. Yes, let's get it. Let us get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. All right. So you guys know I'm always talking about Jim Rohn and Zig Ziglar. I'm always giving quotes from them. But today we are going to talk about Jim Rohn. And Jim Rohn says your level of success will rarely exceed your level of personal development, because success is something you attract by the person you become. Right? Success is something you attract by the, cut it out, y'all. Cut it out, y'all. Because the level of success is something you attract by the person you become. So who are you becoming? Who are you becoming? Are you loving yourself right now? Are you loving on yourself? Put ones in the chat. Are you struggling? Are you loving yourself? Put ones. If you're struggling, put twos. Let me know how you feel and be real. Be real. Good morning, Kay. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Thankful Thursday. Yes, yes, and yes. Are you loving yourself? Are you loving on yourself? Are you loving the person that you're becoming? One's in the chat. If you're struggling with that, put some twos. If you have some negative talk, that's some negative self-talk, put some twos in the chat. You have some doubts, put some twos in the chat. All right, let's go. Let's go. All right. All right. So we need to get the twos to ones. We need to get the twos to ones, because you should be loving on yourself. You should be loving on yourself. You should be speaking kind to yourself. You should be speaking affirming things to yourself. You should be thinking, you should be manifesting things for yourself. You know, what you want to see for yourself, where you see yourself, what's the ideal body? What do you want for yourself? You should be seeing that, right? And you should be feeling that. Because if nobody else in the world, and nobody else in this world matters, nobody else in this world matters. Yes, you have your family and everybody else, but if you are not good, then you're not going to be good for nobody else, right? And so if you are not loving on you, nobody has the job of loving you more than you. Nobody has the job of loving you more than you. You need to start loving yourself the most. You need to start speaking to yourself kindly. You need to start speaking to yourself and speaking life into yourself. Talking about how good, the good things you admire about yourself, right? You don't need to be talking negatively about yourself at all. There's enough of life that's going to happen. You don't need to add on to that negative self-talk, doubting yourself, right? Beating yourself up. You don't need to carry that with you. We do it, and there's enough of it going on in the world with other people and other things and circumstances. There's enough of that going on in the world. But how about our internal world? How about we have some peace in our internal world? How about we have some love and some kindness and some gentleness, some mercy and some grace in our internal world? Why are we fighting with ourselves when all you want to do is be happy, right? Mary J. Blige song, right? All you want to do is be happy. So why are we having this internal fight with ourselves? Because we're struggling to love ourselves. Why? Why? 2, I'm hard on myself, but I'm definitely doing better. 1.5, I see 1.5. Okay. All right. You can't pour from an empty cup. You absolutely cannot. You absolutely cannot. So you have to make sure that you are together first before you put yourself out there into the world. Yes, get yourself together, love on yourself before you get yourself ready for the world. Right? We wake up early in the morning. If you're doing a miracle morning, the miracle morning is designed for you to get yourself, get your spirit ready, get your mind ready, love on yourself, care for yourself, get everything together before you even get out into the world. Right? That is why we do it before we do anything else. Before I even get on my phone to do anything else, I open up my gratitude journal. Before I get on my phone to search social media, I'm opening it up to go to my Bible app to get the word, to get inspired by the word and to pray, or maybe to be in silence. Right? Before I even get on social media, I'm going to open up an app where I just go, not an app, but I just go to YouTube and I find me a meditation that I want to do. For Mary Kate, I'll do one of her meditations before I even do anything. So before anything even shapes my mind or shapes my emotion, I'm working on me before I even do that. Right? I'm working on me before I even do that. I love on myself, but I'm disappointed with myself due to my situation. It's okay. And this situation, and this is what we're going to talk about, right? Because this situation is preparing you for a bigger situation, not a bigger situation, but something better, right? This is teaching you how to do something. This is where, we get delusional about failure, right? We think failure, oh, I failed, and oh, woe is me, and I can't believe I did this, and I can't. But that just showed you that, okay, there's some things that need to change. There's some ways that you got to change. There's some things that got to move out of the way, right? And it's not failure, right? It's just something that didn't work out. And so that way don't work out. So now you have the opportunity, because as long as you're breathing, you have an opportunity every single day to fix something that didn't work yesterday. Every single day we have a chance to fix something that didn't work yesterday. And so if it didn't work and we didn't make what we needed to make and we didn't do what we needed to do yesterday and we are alive and breathing right now, guess what? We could fix it right now. How many people could say that they woke up this morning? How many people died today? You know what I'm saying? How many people you are not here anymore? How many people lost, functions of their faculties, right? How many people can no longer move? How many people can no longer think? How many people you know what I'm saying? We are able, full body and able, right? We able to fix things now. We were blessed in the moment to fix it, right? Again, if we're alive, if we're breathing, if our body is moving, we have another opportunity. We have another opportunity to fix it, to change it, go in a different direction. Whatever that thing is for us, we have an opportunity to do that. Everybody put ones in the chat if y'all agree. Ones in the chat if you agree. Let me know. Let me know. Let me know if you agree. So tip number 1 is to recognize the power of positive self-talk. Recognize the power of self-talk. Start talking to yourself with love. Start looking in the mirror and saying how much you love yourself. And if you don't love yourself in that moment, what do you love about yourself? Right? If you don't love certain things about yourself, then what do you love? If it's not something that's on the inside, what do you like looking at on the outside? You know what I'm saying? If it's not something about something on the outside, then how do you treat others? How do you respond? Like, think about the things that you absolutely love about yourself. If you hate everything about yourself, I'm pretty sure you can find 1 or 2 things that you can say, you know what? I don't hate this that much. And then you could turn that not hating that much to love, right? Because you could appreciate the fact that, okay, I'm not doing so bad in this area, right? If you don't love everything about yourself, you could at least say, I'm a damn good mother. I'm a damn good mother. I know that I'm going to make sure that my kids are taken care of no matter what. I love that about myself. I love that about myself, right? Even if you having a war going on in the inside because you don't like the way you did something or you don't like the way something looks, you could at least say that, right? You could at least say, I love that God woke me up this morning. I love that God breathed life into me this morning. Thank you. You could be grateful in the fact that you have breath. You could be grateful in the fact that you can open your eyes, right? To see another day, right? I could see the beauty in the sunshine. I could see the beauty in nature. I could see the beauty, even if you have a pet, you could see the beauty in the life of your pet, right? But there's something always that we can be grateful for, that we can love about ourselves, even if we don't fully feel like, oh, I don't love everything. But what can you find that you do love? What can you find that you do love? Yes, I write daily affirmations in my journal every morning. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Good morning, Cheryl. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Chantel says I've been in a dark place for a very long time. This is my season of loving on me more. Yes. I even started changing my wardrobe to feel better. I speak life over my life every day. Every day. Absolutely. And you know what's weird? We take for granted our life until things start getting taken, until things are taken away from us. Then we want to live life to the fullest. You know what I'm saying? When, things happening, maybe your health is deteriorating, or maybe you just don't feel good because you caught a cold, or you're sick or whatever. And then I want to live now. I want to feel better. I want to do better. But all this time you was feeling just fine and you was walking around miserable. You could have been feeling that the whole entire time, right? So there's something, always think about it. What can I love about me right now? What could I be grateful for about me right now? What about me? And if I don't love it, how can I love it? How can I make it better? What can I do? What can I do to love it? I love the way I made this breakfast. I love the way I made my eggs this morning. Good job, sis. I love the way I brushed my hair into a ponytail this morning. I love the way it laid down. No flyaways. Good job, sis. Start loving on yourself. Start giving yourself some credit. Start celebrating yourself. Start celebrating yourself. You're going to see the changes in yourself when you start celebrating yourself. If you start being grateful for anything, more gratitude and positive things are going to come to you, right? You have to figure out how to have an attitude for gratitude. What could you do? What do you love about yourself? What do you love? I am so grateful and thankful I'm able to brush my teeth in the morning, right? I'm grateful for the toothbrush. Because what if I didn't have a toothbrush? I'm grateful for the toothpaste that's going to clean my teeth. I love that about myself. I love how clean and shiny my teeth look. Thank you. Thank you, sis. Give yourself a pat on the back for something, right? Everything can't be all bad. Everything can't be all bad. So if you find a glimmer of hope, stick to that. If you see a glimmer of light, stick to that. Go to that. Go to that. Because there are people who cannot. There have been eras in history that they couldn't do this. In history, if you go back, they didn't have the electricity. They didn't have a light that you could just turn on and turn off at your leisure. They didn't have running water, and they didn't have, you can go in there and take a shower when you feel like it. The water comes on and it goes off and it's hot and it's cold. They didn't have that then, right? You could at least appreciate that, right? I'm clean. I feel fresh. I love that about myself. Good job, sis. Right? There's something that we can find in everything, right? So tip number 1 is recognize the power of self-talk, because our thoughts shape our reality. So it's crucial to pay attention to our internal dialogue. And most of the times, I told you, what I said was 80%, we are speaking negatively about ourselves. We think a negative thought before we think a positive thought, right? And I said that I was telling you guys before, sometimes I'm like, I hope ain't no dishes in the sink. Why could I, instead of just saying, I'm grateful and thankful, I'm walking in the kitchen with an attitude because I'm expecting to see some dishes. And so I'm already walking into the kitchen with a negative attitude, right? Because these people left dishes in the sink, right? Or they could have left dishes in the sink. There may not even be any dishes in the sink, but that's just me talking mess. You know what I'm saying? So just recognize the power of that and just start having a better dialogue with yourself. Start having a better internal dialogue with yourself. Everything else in the world is going to do a job on you, and all the other people that you know that may be around may be saying some stuff, and you don't need to be doing the same thing to yourself. You don't need to do the same thing to yourself. Good morning, Patricia. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I just said we had our class coming up. So our Zoom class. So make sure that you speak love into yourself, right? Do you encourage yourself? Do you big yourself up? Put some ones in the chat. Say or put some me's in the chat. Do you big yourself up? Or do you put yourself down? Put it in the chat and let me know what you do. I realize that sometimes when I'm overwhelmed, the way I speak to myself is different. The way, especially if I have a deadline, I start talking to myself kind of like rude and disrespectful. And I'm like, why didn't I do this on time? Or you had plenty of time to do it then. And now I'm under, I have so much other stuff to do. And you so stupid, you so dumb. Why didn't you just do what you had to do when you did it? When you had the time to do it. Now look at you. Now look at you. Now you're struggling. Now you don't know if you're going to make it. Now you need to order this. And now this is late. And now this. And I'm talking so bad to myself when I'm overwhelmed, when I could just be like, you know what? If I'm really honest with myself, if I'm looking at it from the outside looking in, I could have done everything differently, right? If I took advantage of my time, I wouldn't be in this place and I wouldn't be overwhelmed. But that's not what I did, right? Whatever I did, because for whatever reasons that I didn't do it to do what I have to do, I allowed this to fall through the cracks. So I have to accept and acknowledge that it was me who did that. And I have to accept the fact that, okay, so now I got to make it work. Right. And so me having these thoughts are not helping me get this job done any faster. So I need to eliminate that. Right. I need to stop thinking like that. And when I realize that I'm having those thoughts on a loop, that's when I'm going to start to play some music. That's when I'm going to start to dance around. That's when I'm going to start listening to affirmations or, positive books or things like that. That's when I'm going to start doing that, because when I realize that I'm doing that to myself, I'm going to pivot that, right? Because again, that's not going to make me work any faster. Actually, it's making me work pretty much slower. You know what I'm saying? And so when we get overwhelmed and we get into these moments, there are times when we're just like beating up, pounding on ourselves. And I was saying this before, we would not allow anybody else to do that to us, right? I'm not going to allow anybody to speak to me any old kind of way. So why am I speaking to myself any old kind of way? Right? We need to cut it out. I do both, to be honest. I used to. That's me. Okay, Grand Rising, Tina. I'm with Michi. But I'm better now at checking myself. Got you. So when you notice these things, start doing things that are going to make you feel better. If it's a song you love, play the song you love. Just put it on wherever you at. You start hearing it, just put the song on. You may even come back to that thought, but while that song is on, you ain't thinking about it because you enjoying the song. You singing, you moving, you dancing, or you feeling it, whatever that is, right? So while that's on, you're not thinking that negative thought. You're giving yourself time to change that thought. You're giving yourself time to change that energy. So how many of you guys can do that in your everyday life? When you notice that you're starting to have this negative self-talk, this thinking, whenever you start talking bad to yourself, what can you do? What can you do? What do you love to do that is going to help you? And don't do it saying, oh yeah, I got to get my mind off of that. Just pop it on. Just press play. Period. Just press play. You don't need no reason. You don't need an excuse. You don't need permission. Just do what you got to do. Right? Oh, I need to stop to do this. We ain't got to have a whole conversation. We don't have to have a whole conversation. These thoughts are already going on this loop. We need to get on it right now. We need to stop it immediately. When I'm overwhelmed or feeling negative energy, I turn on jazz music. Okay? That's right. That's right. And if you already feel like you're, and like Chantel said, if you're already feeling that you're like, I'm real iffy about myself, just automatically start with that before the thoughts get into your mind. Before the thoughts get into your mind. Right? So if you could do that, let me know in the chat. Say I could do that. Just like cousin did. I could do that. If you start feeling it, you know you overwhelmed, immediately do the work with the music on. Immediately start the work with your affirmations. Immediately start the work with your audio books or whatever it is that you're going to do. Whatever is going to calm your mind, if you need to put on trap music, if that's going to make you feel better, put on that trap music. Whatever it is. If you need to scream, scream. But get your mind out the gutter. No, but get your mind out of that negative place, that dark place. Get it out of there, right? Because it's not helping you at all, right? It's not going to make you work fast. It's not going to get you more money. It's not going to do anything for you. So start thinking differently. Yes, 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 and yes, y'all. We can start thinking differently. We don't need to be having this conversation. That right. I could do that. I could do that. I could make the effort. I'm telling you, if you already know that you're feeling that way, you already feeling the way, lead with the music, lead with the audio book, lead with something else, right? Instead of doing it and then you just like, because you get into it and you start thinking and you start talking to yourself and you start and then it keeps on going on. Then you imagine in different things that never even happened. You imagine, I wish this person would, I wish, and I can't believe you so stupid. Why did you let this person do this? Why did you do that? And you got it going and you keep saying the same thing. Like you're not changing the dialogue. It's the same dialogue. You know how I know? Because I be doing it. Like I'm saying the same thing to myself. And I'm not even getting bored of saying the same thing to myself. But imagine if I'm doing something that's helpful for me and I'm repeating the same thing. I don't feel the same way about it, right? I'm like, oh my God, I'm doing it again. I'm doing the same thing. No. So we need to stop that. We need to let that go. Let it go. Lead with something that is going to boost your spirits, right? Lead with something. Right? You got to realize that you are in control of your own destiny. You are in control of your own outlook. You are in control of everything. You know what I'm saying? You are in control of the way you see things. And if that's the case, you need to take hold of how you're treating yourself and how you're speaking to yourself. So love on yourself a little bit more. So the tip number one is recognize the power of self-talk. If you had to speak to yourself in the mirror, they tell you do the power pose and speak to yourself, speak affirmations to yourself and talk about how powerful and amazing and wonderful you are. If you got to do that, do it. Do it. Mel Robbins talk about the high five. If you got to give yourself a high five because you did something that you didn't think you could do, high five yourself. You see me do that all the time. I'll be like, up top with it. And I be doing that to myself in my mind. Right? It's not just something I do, to other people. I do that to myself in my mind. Like, girl, you did that. You did that. So when you start seeing that, you start seeing the pattern, do something to pivot. Do something that's going to change that, right? So number two is surround yourself with positive influences. Who are you hanging around? Who are you hanging around? What are you listening to? Right? Because you are going to be the company that you keep. My mother used to always say that, and I used to be like, I'm not like her. But then you start getting some things start to stick on you, right? I may not be exactly like her, but I noticed that there's some things that got stuck on me. There's a habit, there's a nastiness, there is a something that I got from being in that environment that I am now showing in my own, right? So you have to be mindful about your environment. Be mindful about your environment, right? Make sure you surround yourself with positive people, be in places and communities, like cousin said, BBU and BCMC, be in communities where people are feeding you, that are encouraging you and inspiring you to be better and greater, and just to have a and just giving you that motivation that you need to get you to the next step. It may be something you need to just get you through the day, right? Somebody may say something in that group that just resonated with you and it just picked up your whole spirit for the day. Maybe you went in there and you had a bad day, but all of a sudden, somebody says something and you're like, oh, I feel better about myself. Oh, that I never even thought about it that way. You're absolutely right. I should be thinking like that. You know what I'm saying? So surround yourself with people who are going to speak life around and to you. Yes. And if you're spending your time with people who are not doing that, then you need to start eliminating the time that you spend with those people. If those people are in your relationship, then you need to, I'm not going to say get out of the relationship, but maybe there's some things that needs to be done in the relationship. Maybe there's some things you got to work on you. Maybe it's something your partner has to work on. Maybe there's some communication that needs to happen because, or something has to happen so that you're no longer in that environment. You cannot stay in that environment and expect to thrive in that environment, because there's something within you that is not going to allow you to be happy because you think that you don't deserve it. And so you got to make sure that the people that you are surrounding yourself with and the environments that you are in, that they are speaking life into you. Everybody agrees? Yes, yes, and yes. Yes, yes, and yes. So I want to know in the chat, who are you spending the most time with? Who are you spending the most time with? I spend the most time with myself. But no, I spend the most time with my BCMC sisters, with you guys, with my family. I am not out and about with a bunch of friends and I go out with my good girlfriends. I don't do that. And most of the times, if I am going out, these people are people that I consider to be my family. And so I don't have like a bunch of girls that I'll be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go hang out with them. I don't have that. I don't have that. Why? Because everybody's at different levels. If everybody was where I'm at right now, then I could understand. If you're mentally where I'm at, then I could understand. But usually these people, the people that are my friends, that I do hang with or that I do speak a lot to, those are the people that I consider my family. Right? Those are the people that I consider my family. Right, Trina? Trina said myself. I know. I know. Kate alone. Just me and you. Yep. Unfortunately, my computer working. Oh, you got a good relationship with your computer? With your computer? Just me. Just me. So if you spending the time with yourself and we going back to tip number 1, and you speaking bad to yourself, do you enjoy your company? That's a word. Do you even enjoy your company? If you spending the most time around yourself, right? Do you enjoy yourself? Can you be alone? Can you be in quiet? Can you be in peace? Do you enjoy being by yourself? Right? Kay said yes. Yes. Do you enjoy being around you? Let me know in the chat. Yes or no. Yes or no. And eliminate your time around, yeah, I'm dope. Eliminate your time around toxic people. Right? That's toxic people masquerading as friends. That's toxic people masquerading as telling you the truth. That's toxic people masquerading as good people, right? And so stop spending your time with people like that. Eliminate the time that you spend. If you got to be around these people, eliminate that time. Eliminate that time. Right? I got to be around you. I'm going to be around you for as long as I need to be around you, and then that's it. Cut off. Right? I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see anything. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want anything. I want it to be cut off, right? Because I'm eliminating the toxicity out of my life, right? I am no longer allowing toxic people to be in my circle and change my energy, right? There's some people that you have conversations with, right? And all y'all doing on the phone is gossiping. How do you feel about that after it's over? Right? There's some people that you are, all they're talking bad about themselves, and they want to talk to you so you can feel bad with them, and then y'all both talking about them, or y'all both talking about each other, so y'all both could be miserable together. And I don't want to do that either. right? I don't want to contribute to that. If you feeling bad about yourself, call me when you feel better. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to be around that. I don't want to talk about that, and I don't want to feel that energy. I don't, and I don't want you to dump that on me, because after you dump that on me, you probably are going to go be fine. I don't want you dumping that on me, and now I'm thinking about all these. I'm thinking about, what's going on with your situation and how you feeling and what you doing, and now I'm imagining more situations, and I'm imagining myself in your situation. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. So eliminate the toxicity in your life. Whatever that toxic thing is, cut it off. Cut it off. Right? I love me time. Come on, Crystal. I love me time too. I love alone time. Then I miss my kids. It's okay to love the alone time, right? Because you got to get you together so that you can spend and love on your kids the way you need to, right? That you can focus and you can be present with your kids when you need to, right? So you need that alone time. It is important. It is important. We cannot beat ourselves up for that. We need to know. We need to know. I do get out with family and close I'm thinking close friends sometimes, but most of the times it's K. Got you. I love me time. Okay. Yes. Yes, I love being by myself. I have a group of friends in church outside of BBU and BCMC. I must admit, y'all get more time than anyone. Ask Tron. I know for sure, because Tron be having a problem with me. He be like, what Nikki want now? What you talking about, Nikki? What you talking about with Nikki now? Why are you talking to her now? What you want? He even told me, he was like, you know what, Nikki? When we seen him in California, you got more of my girl time than I do. And I said, like Trees, and do. And do. I love Kate. She's silly Enzo. That's right. Love on yourself, girl. Love on yourself, and love being in company, being in your own company. I hate that. I know. I know. I know Tron will let us know. Yep, he's a mess. He is, but we love him. We love him. Like, what Nikki want now? You still talking to Nikki? Didn't she just get off? Yes, but I need to call her because I need to make sure she okay. Anzu, right? Anzu. So you need to, tip number 2 is surround yourself with positive influences and eliminate the toxicity. Eliminate the toxicity. Number 3, embrace your failures. Embrace your failures. That sounds weird. Does it sound weird to you? I'm still cracking up about LA. I'm telling you, Tron is a whole mess. A whole mess. How do you feel about your failures? Sounds weird to say embrace your failures, right? It sounds weird to say, why would I embrace my failure? I failed. Failure is not final. Failure is not the end of the world. Failure is just something that is a warning sign. It may be something that is a wake-up call. It may be something that is you just need to change, right? It didn't work that way. So now you know that it didn't work that way. So now we could fix it. Right now we could work on fixing it because we know that it doesn't work. Right? We're not banging our head against the wall trying to make something happen. We know that didn't work. That's what failure is, right? It's awareness. I know that didn't work. And so since that didn't work, I'm going to figure out a way that it can work. And matter of fact, I'm not only going to figure out a way that it can work. I'm going to figure out how it can work and how I can make it better and how I can exceed what I even thought I could do when I was doing this thing, right? Because now my mindset is different, right? Now I'm trying to make it work. And now I know what I can do to make it better. Now I know what I can do to make it better. That even if that thing did work, right, it would probably be okay, right? But now I know, because I failed, I know how to make this thing a whole lot better, right? And so how many of you guys understand that failure is not final? How many of you guys understand that? I'm so hard on myself about failures. There are too many of them. Yes, but failure is a learning tool, and use it as a tool. Use it as a tool that is going to help you unlock the genius that is within yourself, right? Use failure as a tool to unlock the genius, right? You want to fail, you want to fail fast, and you want to get back up. Right? You don't want to stay stuck in your failures. What does it feel like to be stuck in a bunch of failures and saying, oh, I failed so many times. Oh, I did this. Oh, poor me. Poor woe is me. Like, you can't get stuck there. Not if you plan on doing things with yourself, not if you plan on doing things with your life, if you plan on growing. You can't get stuck in failure. Failure is not your final destination. Failure is not your final destination. So embrace your failures. I embrace my failures. I learn from them. I used to internalize them, but instead of doing that, I look for ways I can grow and learn from it. Right? I had to learn failure is the key to success. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I have I have what Thomas Edison said. Remember, I always mess that quote up, so I made sure I wrote it down. But Thomas Edison said, I have not failed. I found 10,000 ways that won't work. 10,000 ways that won't work. Just to come up with that genius thing. Just to come up with that genius thing. You don't just out the gate come out with the genius thing. It's got to not work first so that you know how to make it work. Right? It has to be something before it could be, it's got to be nothing before it could be something. It has to be, right? So you have to be like, oh, okay, that didn't work. So let me try this way. Oh, I shouldn't put sugar in this. Oh, let me try salt. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a weird, analogy, but I'm just saying, right? You just want to make sure that you don't take failure and take it to heart. You taking the failure and saying, you know what? Okay, I see what I did. I'm going to reflect on it. I'm going to reflect and I am going to make adjustments. And now I'm going to move forward and I'm going to do it differently. I'm not going to make that same mistake because I'm better now. I know better now. I'm wiser now. So I'm not going to make that same mistake again. I am making a conscious decision and a conscious effort to not make that thing happen again. Right? I'm not going to be there anymore. Yes, 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 and yes. And I wrote it, TD Jakes is my man. One way to overcome your fear of failure is to recognize that growth demands failure. Did you hear me? Growth demands failure. You have to fail to grow. You have to fail to grow. Do y'all get that? Do y'all feel what I'm saying? You have to. So when you fail, okay, it don't feel good. We know that. It doesn't feel good, but it demands you need to fail in order for you to grow. Right? Growth takes some breaking. Right? Growth takes some uncomfortability. You don't just grow. Right? It takes some things got to move, things got to change, things got to fall into place, things got to, start adjusting in order for you to see the growth. That's with your muscles. That's with your mind. That's with your mindset. That's what everything has to break or everything has to not work in order for you to see that it can work. Right? In order for you to see that it can work. Let me see. A calm sea does not make a good sailor. Come on. Come on, Eliana. Come on. Yes, yes, yes. I absolutely love that. Sometimes failure brings you something new you weren't even looking for. Absolutely. Absolutely. That failure made your thing amazing. That failure made you a genius. That failure made you see how big and powerful you can really be. That failure really did something to you. So we need to start looking at it differently. We need to stop looking at failure as I suck, poor me, I can't do it anymore. This just wasn't meant for me. And start looking at it as an opportunity for us to make changes and move accordingly. Right? Look at it as an opportunity to make changes and to move accordingly. Because it's giving you the opportunity to see where you messed up so you can make that thing even bigger and better than what you even imagined it to be. Right? I could change the dish up now that I know it didn't work. I could try different things. I know that this didn't work with that dish. So you know what? Let me try something else. Oh, that works. So that, if that works, then maybe this and this and this may work. And then maybe I should try this with that. Like it's, you open up your mind to a whole bunch of different ideas that you were not even thinking about before. Right. And that's the same thing with us as makers, right? We make a product, some things ain't work, but then you figure out you failed, you think you failed, and then you figure out another way to do this thing faster, easier, cheaper. You know what I'm saying? Because something didn't work, or more innovative, all because something didn't work. So start to embrace your failures. What have you done in your life, right? It doesn't necessarily have to be for business, where you fail, where you feel that you failed. Let me know in the chat. Eliana, that's deep. I had to reread that and I'm like, ooh, right. Because if the sea is always calm, then what? Right? You need the stuff going on in the sea in order for you to start moving. Right? You need to have a storm in order to see how you can navigate through it, right? You're not going to learn on the fly. I mean, we kind of do, but you're not going to learn on the fly. There's some things you got to know. There's some things you got to do in a storm to prepare, to navigate through. And that's the same thing with our lives. It's the same thing with our lives. My dogs. You fell with your dogs? What do you mean? What do you mean? So you guys understand what I'm saying today? I waited too long. Okay. Self-doubt. Come on. Let's see what you got. So let's agree that we're going to make a conscious decision to look at our failures differently, right? And not stay stuck in the aftermath of the failure. I don't need to stay stuck there. I don't need to rehash it. I don't need to relive it. I don't need to anything with that. How can I move past it now? So now we're going to think differently, right? It's all about our mindset shifting, right? So now we're thinking differently, right? Now what am I going to do? I failed, now what? I'm still here. I still got things to do. I failed, now what? It didn't happen, now what? Now what am I going to do? How am I going to achieve the thing? How am I going to make it work? What do I do now? What's my next steps? Right? That is how we should be thinking. What are we going to do now? Eliana said, I waited too long to start my business. I'm 53 and starting now. That is okay. That is okay. Now make it happen. We 53, now what? We 53 and we got a banging business and we got a banging product and we are going to take it all over the world, and I'm going to have so many of life's experiences that I never even thought I would have as a business owner that I am having right now, and this is the best time of my life. I am so glad that I lived to be 53 so I could see all the things that worked and didn't work, and now out of all of my life experiences, I can produce this business. It took me 53 years of experience to produce this business because now this business is amazing, right? I needed all of those 53 years so that I could come up with this amazing concept for my business. Yes, yes, and yes. I missed the question, but I think I can guess. I used to dwell on the past and missed opportunities. Right. So you dwell on the past and you have missed opportunities. Now what? So now what are you going to think about yourself now? How are you going to move now? Are you going to continue to allow missed opportunities to be a thing for you? Or are you going to now start being active and start taking part of any opportunities that comes your way? Are you going to use those things to your advantage? Or you are going to allow them to keep on making you miss opportunities? What are you going to do with that? What are you going to do with that? Trina says, that's fine, Eliana. A lot of great business owners, entrepreneurs started later in life. Absolutely. Because you're using a portion of your life to get your life together. You're using a portion of your life to get your children's lives in order, to get, to make sure that they're good. And then when they're good and out the house and everything, now you can focus on yourself. Or, maybe you got stuck in a career that you're finally saying, okay, well, now I'm out now. Right. I've reached my limit. This is where I get off on this ride. And now I'm going to start doing something different. Right. But it's okay. It is okay. It is okay. So now that we see the things that have been, that we feel are failures, we can take those and say, well, I'm not going to allow myself to miss that anymore. I'm not going to allow myself to treat myself like that anymore. I'm not going to allow myself to do that anymore. Right. But you got to say it to yourself that is not who you are. And you need to start saying, that didn't work, but this is going to work. And this is how I'm going to make that thing work. So yes, yes, and yes. Yes, yes, and yes, y'all. Number 4, I'm gonna quickly go over because I got stuck on the failure. But number 4 is practice gratitude. Practice gratitude. We kind of touched on that earlier. Practice gratitude every single day. If something is not working, what could you take out of what's not working to make it feel better? Or what you can see positive about that thing, right? You got a flat tire, but what did that do? Oh, it made me see that, my tires were bad or whatever. What could you see in that moment that you could be grateful for? Find a little piece, just a little tiny speck that you could be grateful for, even in bad times, even when things are not looking up. What one thing can I grab hold to so that I could feel grateful throughout my day? Right? Find something. And even if you are feeling good, it's a good day, continue to be grateful. Continue to say, oh my gosh, I'm so grateful and thankful for whatever that thing is. I am so grateful and thankful for an amazing show. I always say that I'm so grateful and thankful that I get to get in front, I sit in front of you guys and I get to speak to you guys. I'm so grateful and thankful. What could you say? Say this all the time. Say it all the time. Stop going through your day and not being grateful for things unless something major happens. Be grateful for every single thing. Be grateful for every single thing, because it's going to snowball. It's going to snowball, and that positive energy is going to return to you because you putting it out into the universe. You putting it out there, so you got to get it back. You got to get it back. Hey, Kayla Shay. Oh, Kyla Shay. Hey, Kyla Shay. Can you make a video on how to do labels for hair products? Like, how hair products have those deep conditioning samplers. Send me a DM. Send me a DM, and we could talk about it. And we will definitely get that together. So allow gratitude. Gratitude allows us to appreciate the moment, the present moment, and it creates a positive ripple effect in our lives. So make sure that you have the attitude for gratitude. And tip 5 is take care of your mind, your body, and your soul. Take care of everything. You don't do one or the other. You choose all of them. Right? I know when we start taking care of ourselves, other things that we start sacrificing different things. Don't sacrifice anything. Don't sacrifice anything. You need to take care of your mind, your body, and your soul. Yes, whatever that looks like to you. If that means getting out in nature and walking, if that means you going outside and talking to God, if that means you getting on a bicycle, if that means that you are learning, if that means that you are doing spa stuff, if that means that you are taking a bath, if that means that you are, just doing things with the kids and that's just freedom for you and you just enjoy that, you just need that, do what you need to do that's going to help you to be a better you. Right? Do what you need to do to be a better you. Because when you're operating from the better you can see things differently. Your outlook and your vision and what you expect to happen are going to be different. Right? Your outlook is going to be different when you have positive things going on and you have freedom and you have clarity and you have vision and you have insight and you are speaking love and kindness into yourself. You are going to start operating differently. So let's speak love into ourselves, you guys. So that is your that is my tips for having a positive mental attitude. So we got number 1, recognize the power of self-talk. Number 2, be around positive people. Eliminate the toxicity, right? Surround yourself with positive people. Embrace your failures. It's not the final destination, right? Then we have practice gratitude every day. And the last one is take care of your mind, your body, and your soul. So, can we all do that? Can we all start just loving on ourselves a little bit more? Put some ones in the chat if we could start loving on ourselves a little bit more. One's in the chat. Thank you so much, Tina. Everybody hit the like button, y'all. Yes, yes, and yes. We are about to wrap this up. I am so grateful and thankful for all of you guys for sitting here and listening to Coffee with Nikki. I truly appreciate you. This is an investment in your time. I know that your time is valuable and you do not get that back. So I hope that something that I said resonated with you, and I hope that you could take this video and share it with somebody and it can resonate with them. Remember, we're on the road to 100K. So in order for me to get to 100K, I need y'all to start sharing this. And I also need you guys to subscribe. If you have not yet subscribed, I need you guys to subscribe. And also, if you're catching the replay, please like, comment, and subscribe. Also, share the video to everybody. If there's anything that resonated with you, please post it in the comments below and let us know. Also, the budgeting for business with Angela of Hello Breakthrough is going to be up until 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. After that is going to be in the Honor Society, and you will not be able to access it off of YouTube. So make sure that you guys watch it and make sure you take plenty of notes because it was very good. It was very good. And what else do I want to say? I will be back tomorrow at 9 a.m. for Coffee with Nikki, your daily cup of information and inspiration. I see a whole bunch of ones in the chat. Let's get it. Let's go. Let's change the way we talking to ourselves. Let's change the way that we love on ourselves. Let's change that. And let's not stay stuck in failure so that we can be every single thing that we want to be. And again, I always include myself in that because I don't want you to think that I'm saying y'all. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying us as a collective. We together. We are going to do that. Everybody? Yes, yes, and yes. Yes, yes, and yes. Put it in the chat. Yes, yes, and yes. I appreciate you guys. I hope that whatever you have going on today, that you have the most amazing day. It sounds like Tabitha Brown, right? Have the most amazing day. But you have an amazing day, and I hope that you have a productive day and you get all of the things that you need done. Do not procrastinate. You know, I'm speaking from experience. I'm speaking from experience. Get the things off your list done. And that is it, you guys. Again, I appreciate y'all. I see y'all with the yeses. I will see you guys in the morning, and I hope that y'all check your timelines because that's where I'm going to flood them. And also follow me on social media and DM me if you want to be a part of the Etsy workshop, the Etsy reboot. DM me the word Etsy or workshop. And you guys have an amazing day. See y'all later.